Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Rock and Roll Stock Amateur, and today's a modified version of building the team. So I mentioned earlier this week that I played in a pre-release for Earth X last week. So thought maybe I'd take a look, show off some of the figures I pulled, and also the team I ended up building. So anyway, at a pre-release, it's done generally it's done as a sealed event wherein participants buy 2 boosters of the set, and then they build their team out of what they pull out of their boosters. Now, Earth X itself, now most recent Marvel HeroClix set, is largely based upon Alex Ross and Jim Krueger's Monument, or massive Marvel Comics kind of AU of sorts, Earth X. It sort of serves as in the not too about 20 years ahead for everything, what's come to pass. The psychics are gone. Everything's gone. The world's gone to shit, basically. Anyway, so now, like I said, while most of the set focuses on Earth X, another theme in the set is the Sinister Syndicate, or Spider-Man foes. One having a focus on the Sinister Six. In fact, the Sinister Six get a trait to share very similar to the trait for the Secret Six featured in Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girls. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is the exact same trait. Let's see, do I have one of those handy to look at? Maybe, possibly. I'll probably just dig a wee bit deeper. Okay. Yep, it is the exact same trait. Which, okay, that's fine. I really don't have a problem with the idea of. No, never mind. I really don't have a problem with WizKids taking a trait that they used for one team that had 6 in its name and is generally made up of 6 characters, and then using it for another team with 6 in the name that usually has just 6 members at a time. So, honestly, hey, well done, good job. Anyway, so we're going to start off looking at excuse me. We're going to start off looking at the Sinister Syndicate characters. Also, it should be noted that this set finally brings long-time Spider-Man foes, the Enforcers, into HeroClix. Who are the Enforcers, you might ask? The Enforcers, the core portion of the team, at least. I use the word very loosely here. But the core members being Montana, Fancy Dan, and Ox. They are 3, mob enforcers. They usually, historically in Marvel Comics, have been shown in the employ of various mob bosses. Kingpin, Crime Master. I would not be surprised in the slightest if the Owl employed them when he was the big man. But yeah, they're they're thugs that Spider-Man and various other Marvel heroes have been beating up for literally decades. Well, decades real time. More like 15 to 20 years comic book time at most. I think Spider-Man is probably in comics. Spider-Man is supposed to be maybe 35 or so, and he's been Spider-Man since he was 15, so that would be 20 years. Anyway, so with each of the themes, we're largely going to be going from in descending order from rarity, with being, first the super rare, then rare, then uncommon, then common, largely. However, after any commons will be generics regardless of rarity. So we're going to start off with the Sinister Syndicate characters. First on the list we've got super rare Green Goblin, which we talked about earlier this week, mainly because of his signature equipment, the Goblin Glider. I gotta say, I love this sculpt. I really do. So, and here's, once again, the Goblin Glider. So, Green Goblin. He's, like I said, he's super rare. He comes in at 75 or 50 points. You can get your choice there. He has the Spider-Man enemy team ability, or Sinister Syndicate, I should say. So he's got Dark Avengers, Sinister Syndicate, Thunderbolts, and Politician keywords. Then he has two traits. First off, he has the signature equipment, Goblin Glider. He gets to start with. He starts with the game with it. Then we have Genius or Madness. If Green Goblin's dial displays Outwit, friendly characters with the Sinister Syndicate keyword have protected Outwit. If his dial displays Perplex, friendly characters with the Sinister Syndicate keyword have protected Perplex, which means he can't perplex himself. It doesn't make his Perplex worthless. It just kind of, to me, makes it. It's more of a just, okay, I have to perplex down that person's attack or that person's damage or defense or whatever. All right, then we've got two special powers buried at the end of the dial, so we'll get to those. We'll get to those later on. The rest of the dial, we've got five straight clicks of sidestep. We start off with 2 clicks of Precision Strike, which are followed up by 3 clicks of Energy Explosion, 2 clicks of Invincible, followed by 3 clicks of Toughness, and then at the very end we have the first special power for defense, the Last Laugh. It's a stop click, and he has regeneration. Then on damage, we go Leadership, Outwit, Perplex, and then his damage special power, Impaled by the Remote Control Glider. The free action, KO Goblin Glider, if it's equipped to Green Goblin. If you do, modify the attack by 3, and make a range attack targeting a single opposing character that deals 3 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. If you miss with the attack, Green Goblin is KO'd. Also, it should be noted that if you opt to start him off at 50 points instead of 75, the Precision Strike, Invulnerability, Leadership, and first click of Outwit are gone, and he instead starts off with Perplex, Energy Explosion, Toughness, and, well, Sidestep. Also, he loses an 11 attack for 2 clicks. Also, another thing I should mention, he has Indomitable for his defense, so built-in willpower, always plus. Anyway, moving on to the next member of the Sinister Syndicate, which I pulled. I only pulled 2. The Lizard, the more modern version of the character. Gone. He's given up his humanity completely. Anyways, the Lizard comes in at 50 points, has the Sinister Syndicate team ability. He also has the Sinister Syndicate, Animal, Monster, and Scientist keywords. We have 2 traits. First of which is Sinister Six United. Now, this is the trait I was talking about that most of the Sinister Six members have. I think there's at least 6 of them in the set that have it. So you can probably build a team with a 300. You can probably easily build a 300-point team with them. Anyway, great. First off, we have Stealth, but only if your force has 3 or more characters. Improved movement ignores hindering terrain, but only if your force has 5 or more characters. Modify all combat values by 1, or plus 1, but only if your force has exactly 6 characters. This includes bystander tokens, so on and so forth. So you really have to, another thing to keep in mind is that as characters are KO'd, that also means that it's not how much your force started, how many your force started with. It's how many your force currently has. So when someone's KO'd, if you have 6 and one of them's KO'd, now you're down to 5. Another thing to keep in mind, though, it focuses on just the team. It doesn't say. You don't have to have a theme team for it to for these to all work. So you could run a 6-man team featuring it's not a theme team or is not a Sinister Syndicate theme team, and Lizard would still get the +1 to his combat values. The next trait we've got is Cellular Regeneration. As a free action, if Lizard is on an even click number and has no action tokens, heal him with 1 click. Okay, alright. Now let's look at the dial. We open up with a click of charge, followed by 2 clicks of sidestep and 3 clicks of leap climb. That's speed. On attack, we have a dial that is Blades, Claws, Fangs from start to finish. Which makes sense in all honesty. That's kind of what he does. Though it would have been nice to have seen maybe something involving his tail. Tail whip or something, incapacitate, maybe as a trait, tail whip, incapacitate, giant reach. Giant reach 2. That would make sense to me. Anyway, on defense, where we've got Indomitable once again, we got 2 clicks of toughness followed by 4 clicks of combat reflexes. Again, surprisingly, no super senses, which is usually found on the Lizard. Anyways, moving on to the Earth X characters. First off, we've got title character from the set, Captain America, Resilient. This is how Cap appears throughout Earth X. He's old. Basically, he's had better days. The A you won't normally see on the hood of his uniform is now cut into his head. Yeah, he's had better days. Anyway, so Captain America Resilient comes in at 80 points. He has the Avengers, Earth X, Shield, and Soldier keywords. And then we've got 4 title character abilities. And 1 starting plot point. So, the first 3 of these each add 1 plot point. First off, we've got a Journey of Failure and Redemption. It's a free action. Move to 1 square, then make a close attack. That right there is probably one of the best powers he has. Next up, we've got Fight Against Slavery of the Mind. Until your next turn, friendly characters modify defense +2 when targeted by mind control. Given one of the other characters in the set is probably one of the best mind control pieces in the game right now, that's a good thing. And the last +1 plot point ability, a gathering of those heroes left. With free action, move each other friendly character 1 square. And finally, we've got his big power, where you remove 3 plot points. I'm sorry I failed you, but the war ends now. There's a power action. Place Captain America Resilient into a square that is adjacent to both an opposing character and a square of hindering or blocking terrain, then make a close attack. If he KOs an opposing character with that attack, give him 3 plot points. So you can basically arrange to do that again on your next turn, or whenever. But there's also the fact that, again, if he KOs an opposing character because of this attack. But let's take a look at it. He can make a free attack. As a free action, he can make a close attack every single turn. After all, if a title character activated a plot ability but didn't attack an opposing character, they get one unavoidable damage. But here we've got one plot ability that's add a token, or add a plot point, make a free action, make a close attack. Now his KO ability is an opponent. You pick an opponent, and once per turn for the rest of the game, that opponent may force you to reroll an attack roll. That's... I've had that done. I had that done on me during the tournament. That can make or break a game. Okay, so now let's look at Cap's dial. We open up with Running Shot for 1 click. Then we get 2 clicks of Charge, and followed by 4 clicks of Phasing. On attack, we've got nothing up until the last 2 clicks, where we've got 2 clicks of Precision Strike. Though he starts off with a 12 attack, which is always nice. Defense, where he's got Indomitable. We've got Defend with an 18 defense. That ain't bad. There's nothing to sneeze at. Then we've got 2 clicks of Combat Reflexes, also with an 18. So up close, that's a 20. Then we got 2 clicks of Toughness, and then 2 more clicks of Combat Reflexes. On damage, we've got 3 clicks of Perplex. Again, always nice to see on Cap. 2 clicks of Close Combat Expert, and 2 clicks of Shape Change. Okay, alright. Of course, that makes perfect sense. The character card gives justifications for all of his powers. The Shape Change being Clay Soldier Disguise, which is in the end of the story, which is fitting that would be at the end of his dial. All right, so next up we've got Black Knight. This is not the same Black Knight we've seen in previous sets. The previous sets have been Dane Whitman as well as his uncle. This is Ahura Boltagon, the son of Black Bolt and Medusa. Now, I would have mentioned the Inhumans as being one of the sub-themes in the set, but all the Inhumans in the set are also Earth X characters. So they're part of the Earth X theme. It is the Earth X versions of these characters. So yeah, they're Earth X characters. So anyways, let's look at Black Knight. Black Knight comes in at 100 points. And I can tell you he's worth them. He is worth every single one of them. He has the Earth X, Excalibur, Inhumans, and Ruler keywords. And we got 2 traits. First off, we have Stiff Upper Lip, which everyone with the Excalibur keyword of the set has. When Black Knight is damaged by an opponent's attack, after resolutions, remove an action token from him. Okay. So, this is actually something I think I was forgetting about more than a few times last week. Next up, we've got Terrigenesis Twice, which all Inhumans in the set have as a keyword, or as a trait. When a friendly character targets Black Knight with Perplex, after resolutions, roll a d6. If the result is less than Black Knight's click number, modify the chosen value an additional +1. And we got two special powers, which we'll get to there. So let's now look at the dial. First off, we have a 6. I should have mentioned range. We got a 6 range on Black Knight. Captain America originally had a 4 range, and Green Goblin has a 6 range as well. Black Knight is also obviously a flyer. We got 2 clicks of charge, followed by 2 clicks of running shot, followed by 2 clicks of force blast. Not bad, not bad. On attack, we've got 2 clicks of Blade's Claw's Fangs, followed by 2 clicks of Penetrating Psychic Blast, followed by, on the last 2 clicks, the special power, His Father's Legacy. And keep in mind, this is Black Bolt's son. Pulse Wave. When Black Bolt uses it, he can use Improved Targeting, ignores blocking terrain. Okay, yeah, let's just ignore blocking terrain. After resolutions, destroy all blocking terrain within that use of Pulse Wave's range. Okay, alright. I was trying to make sure it wasn't ignores and destroys, but yeah, it ignores blocking terrain, and then any blocking terrain within the 3 square within 3 squares of him is destroyed anyway. So okay, alright. Cool. Moving on to defense, where he's in Furlon, he's indomitable. And that makes him the next to last figure in this out of these that was so. He's got invincible for 1 on his first click, followed by 3 clicks of invulnerability and 2 clicks of regeneration, which means he can get back up to his second click. And hell, if you got someone, if you got another healer on hand, you can get him back up to top dial. Finally, we got damage. Starting off, we've got, we got the special power, Sean, an apprentice of Kings. Leadership. When Black Knight uses it and succeeds, he has protected outwit until your next turn. Now, I'm going to admit, I misread the hell out of that. For some reason, I thought that he also had outwit, but he does not have outwit. I think I'm saying that more for me to say it so I can remember for the future, but yeah. But he can potentially be protected from outwit. That's always a good thing. However, it can be countered, so at least make it hard for, at least, you know, make it not the only option, not outwit option, you know. Then after 3 clicks of that, we get 3 clicks of Perplex. So, all right, that ain't bad. Now, also, concerning his 3 clicks of Perplex, keep in mind that that will trigger Terrigenesis, as it does not say when another friendly character, simply when a friendly character, and he's always friendly to himself. So yeah. Alright, moving on to Spider-Man. Now you're probably wondering, why does Spider-Man look so schlubby? Well, in Earth X, Peter Parker's retired. Everyone has superpowers. So, you know, if everyone's got great power, you know, his only responsibility then, as he sees it, is to himself and his family. Though Luke Cage is constantly throughout the story trying to recruit him into the police force. Luke Cage is now is a police officer, sergeant, I believe Sergeant Cage. It's kind of neat, actually. Anyway, so Spider-Man. Spider-Man comes in at 30 points, has the Spider-Man Ally team ability as well as the PD team ability. So, which makes sense because he does eventually join Cage's police force. He also has the Earth X, Spider-Man family, police, and reporter keywords. Let's see. Looking at the dial, we've got a special power on movement, and this is straight down the dial. Everyone has power, so my only responsibility is to my daughter. Leap climb. When Spider-Man moves, as per resolutions, you may choose a friendly standard character occupying a square adjacent to one he moved through. If you do, place that character adjacent, and it can be given a costed action this turn. Now, that doesn't mean they can't use Perplex or Outwit or Free, move up to one square, make a close attack. They just can't be given a costed action. Basically, if we give them an action token, no dice. We got nothing for all 4 clicks of his attack dial. 2 clicks of super senses, followed by 2 clicks of willpower. 2 clicks of support. As I mentioned, if you have a healer on Black Knight, you can get him up the top dial. And followed by 2 clicks of perplex. For 30, he's not bad for 30 points. But he's also not great. I will be totally honest about that. Next up, we've got Karnak of the Unhumans, or the Inhuman Royal Family. Excuse me. Alright, so Karnak comes in at 50 points. Has the Earth X, Inhumans, and Martial Artist keywords. And he's also got the Terrigenesis twice trait, so if he's targeted with perplex, they can roll a d6, and potentially if the roll is less than his click number, yeah. So, looking at the dial, we start off. Well, we have a special power attack, which we'll get to in a little bit. Looking at the dial, we've got 2 clicks of charge, followed by 3 clicks of flurry. Alright. Then we've got 2 clicks of everyone has weaknesses. This gives Karnak precision strike. When he makes an attack, if his target's defense value is modified higher than his printed value, he uses its printed defense value instead. So, yeah, no combat reflexes. Oh, you use 3 perplexes to get someone's defense up to an insane degree. That's nice. Yeah, you get the idea. If you were to perplex up Karnak's range, so he could make ranged attack, so he actually had range above 0, then no initial deflection either. So, anyway. After everyone has weaknesses, we get 3 clicks of just regular precision strike. On defense, first off, he's indomitable, making for the last figure in this batch it is. And then he has super senses for 3 clicks, followed by 2 clicks of combat reflexes. On damage, we've got 2 clicks of perplex, followed by 2 clicks of probability control, followed by perplex on his final click. Also, it should be noted, his attack value does not drop below 10, but it's 10 for most of the dial. Anyways, moving on, we've got the Red Union Jack. It's one of the various generics out of the set. The Union Jacks are part of King Braddock's army. Anyway, Red Union Jack comes in at 30 points, has the Earth X, Excalibur, and Soldier keywords. He has a stiff upper lip trait, just like Black Knight. So when he's damaged by an opponent's attack, I can remove an action token from him. He also has a special power on attack, which we'll get to. Anyways, we got 2 clicks of running shot, followed by 2 clicks of sidestep. Then on attack, we open up with Dragonfire Incendiary Grenade Launcher. This gives Red Union Jack energy explosion. When he uses it, damage dealt to each target is increased by 1. That ain't bad. That's followed by 2 clicks of smoke cloud. Then we got 2 clicks of toughness, followed by 2 clicks of willpower. And on damage, we have the first 2 clicks are bear, followed by 2 clicks of perplex. Alright, okay. Next up, we've got the Blue Union Jack. Also soldiers in Brian Braddock's army. Well, King Brian Braddock, I should say. So, Blue Union Jack comes in at 50 points. Has the Earth X, Excalibur, and Soldier keywords, much like the red, as well as the stiff upper lip keyword, much like the Red Union Jack and Black Knight. We got a special power on damage, which we'll get to later. So, looking at the dial, we've got 2 clicks of running shot, followed by 3 clicks of sidestep. That's part of the reason why he's 20 points more. He's got an extra click of life. On attack, we've got 2 clicks of penetrating psychic blast, followed by 2 clicks of precision strike, followed by empty final click. On defense, we've got 3 clicks of toughness, followed by 2 clicks of willpower. On damage, we start off with 2 clicks of "Come on, lads, for king and country." This gives him enhancement and leadership. When Blue Union Jack uses leadership and succeeds, friendly characters modify attack by +1 until your next turn. That's not bad in the slightest. After the 2 clicks of that, we've got 2 clicks of Range Combat Expert, always a plus. And finally, a final click of Perplex, much like his red counterpart. Next up, we've got yet another generic, the Hydra. Now, there are actually a handful of figures in the set called the Hydra. 2 of them are just generics, but there's also a Sharon Carter and Sam Wilson Hydra. I think there might be more. I'm not entirely sure. I actually have not gotten a chance to see the full set list. So, I probably can pull that one off, though. Oh well. The Hydra. The Hydra comes in at 25 points, has the Earth X and Hydra keywords, but not the Hydra team ability, interestingly enough. Then we got a trait that all of the Hydras have. Share through the hive mind. Unique modifier. Friendly characters within 6 squares with the Hydra keyword modify attack by +1 when making a range attack. Okay, alright. Looking at the dial, we've got 2 clicks of sidestep followed by 2 clicks of plasticity. Always good to have. Then we got 2 clicks on attack. We have 2 clicks of incapacitate followed by 2 blank clicks. Defense, we have 4 straight clicks of willpower. Okay. On damage, we start off with 2 blank clicks with a 1 damage. So, yeah. But then, on the final 2 clicks, we've got Range Combat Expert, along with a range of 4. Also, both Union Jacks have a range of 5. Next up, we have the other Hydra. This one costs 20 points, has the Earth X and Hydra keywords, has the share through the hive mind, though his is actually targeted on close attacks rather than range attacks. So, we've got 2 clicks of sidestep followed by 2 clicks of plasticity, 2 clicks of super strength followed by 2 blank clicks, for another straight dial of willpower. Then on damage, we got 2 clicks of exploit weakness followed by 2 clicks of close combat expert, which means I never put him on his back on his top dial. So anyway, After I opened these up, I of course had that whole thing. Okay, so who do I pick? Obviously, the Green Goblin was definitely a thought, but I decided since most of the figures that I pulled had the EarthX keyword, I'd go with an EarthX theme team. I ended up using Captain America Resilient. Really got to make use of that free action close attack. Black Knight, also quite useful. Oh. Let's see. 180. 230. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I used. Yeah, I used the Blue Union Jack. The cheaper of the two Hydras. And Karnak. I ended up going 1-1. And in fact, the first game I played was both games were shutouts. And oh boy, did that team shut out the first two I played. With the fact that Captain America Resilience Journey of Failure and Redemption plot ability is worded move up to 1 square. What that basically means is you can say, I'm going to move 0 squares. So if you are already adjacent to someone, say, I'm moving 0 squares and making a close attack on you. So yeah, you don't have to worry about breaking away. And he ended up being very useful. I did once get to try out the "I'm sorry I failed you, but the war ends now" plot ability, and I just barely. I think either I missed the attack, or I just missed doing enough damage to KO the target, which was actually the Sharon Carter Hydra. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, that was my sealed pieces for my pieces from the EarthX pre-release. Hopefully, there's actually going to, with the pending change in venue. Hopefully, there will be soon an EarthX release event as well. I like the idea of having at least getting a few boosters out of the set. But yeah, as always, feel free to like. That's it for now. I'm actually working on something. I've been inspired with an idea, so I'm working on that. More to come on that. If you follow my Twitter or follow the Facebook page for the channel, you'll probably get some information on that in the coming days. Anyway, so that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you feel like it, comment. Hit the notification bell for to be notified of when I put up new content. Links to the Facebook page, Twitter account, and my Patreon in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.